welcome back to another video. In this one, I will be going over our Sofi position. We have been in this for several months now, but basically things are playing out somewhat along the lines of what we are anticipating. And basically, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you know the Sofi business model, but basically virtual bank, low cost banking, minimal fees, but they are competing with the JP Morgans, the Wells Fargos, the Chases of the world. So they are still quite a tiny bank, or now a chartered bank in the landscape. But that being said, they are trying to be disruptive, and honestly, considering where we are now and the data that's coming out with especially the lower end consumer, I think Sofi is more of a compelling option for somebody who's shopping to see where they can have their banking done, as obviously they are more cost effective than some of their competitors. So a few key things happened, which were posted in a previous video that I shared like probably 4 months ago, maybe 3-4 months ago. But basically, if we were to take out all of the noise and basically just look at the chart and consider who is involved in this particular trade. So at these price levels, Sofi is a retail stock, right? At $8 now, hedge funds aren't going to be participating in this. And basically, the way that I saw this is it's very crowded with retail. Retail loves Sofi, and a reason why I'm posting this video is because anytime I post a video on Tesla or Sofi, it seems to get some attention just because the retail is on it. They love to be a part of it. And Sofi, in my opinion, is a great company, so long that they can continue to deliver, run by great management. So we just need to see things play out as they do, filter out all the noise, trust the thesis. And basically our thesis is at these levels here, Sofi has more upside. So the risk to reward trading at these low levels shows potential for Sofi to be trading honestly upwards of $10, even $12, hopefully, if things play out as they should. So let's take a look at the chart. Basically, in the last video, I mentioned clearly, and I love how well and how accurate it was. But the fact that I mentioned this play out, I'm not going to toot my horn. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I told you so. So Sofi is basically such a retail concentrated stock that when you think about it, who are the people who lose the most money in retail? Who are the most people who lose the most money in the markets? That's retail. And basically, how are they going to lose money on a trade like Sofi? Well, let's take a look. If we zoom out, let's even see if we can go to the monthly chart, if this makes sense. Yeah, let's zoom out here. Levels are clear. We are starting to form a base. There's a clear descending triangle. And considering that fact, if somebody sees this here, they're going to say, okay, if this starts to break, I will short it. Or if I am long, if 650s start to break, then I'm going to stop out. So I'm sure there was a lot of people who had the exact same thesis that we have on Sofi and can see the potential for this company into the long term. Now that all of the dilutionary issues are out of the way, Sofi is now positioned to potentially start to have a rally if they could execute on the promises that they have, right? So if somebody sees that, they're going to buy here, they're going to put their stop rate at $6 type of thing. What happened and how is it playing out? Obviously, the trade is not done. We are not closed, and basically anything can happen from this point on. But my point was, I wasn't going to be surprised if we saw a flush or a shakeout below this level, a reclaim, and then the breakout, right? If it's so obvious and there's so much retail involved in a particular position, the more obvious the chart is, the more likely you are going to get messed around with. That's just the nature of it. Don't question, don't ask. Just know who's involved and have that mental model in mind. That's how I think of it, and I do not go any farther. So, SoFi, now things have changed in my opinion. Why do I say that? Well, let's take a look at this weekly chart. Anytime we've had any sort of rally, basically it fell off with a strong sell-off, right? So as prices start to get compressed and we start to get tight here, the fact that we are starting to engulf this previous range with this weekly sustained strength pushes SoFi and makes me have more conviction that we are starting to shift the tone and this actual downtrend is starting to break, and maybe we have somewhat of a reversal after going down for over a year, right? So now the question is, how strong will this move be, and can we hold above $7 to $6? What will happen? I don't know, but I could tell you and I could show you a similar chart which hopefully might start to hopefully SoFi might start to resemble. But let's take a look at another fintech company, AFRM, which started to happen, right? So basically, anytime we rallied, anytime we pushed higher, there was an immediate sell-off. And I did, I forget where, but there was points in time here where I started to long the breakout and I got stopped out. But there was also a point in time where one of the trading algorithms that I run personally has entered recently at $25. So we're still at 25, prices are up 60 or so, 65% or so in that particular position. That's not the point. My point is we started to test the level, same thing, even a shakeout post carry trade exit, and then we have a green day or a green week, which started to break out and started to engulf the previous weeks. And then we have earnings or a surprise to the upside. So shorts are involved, the tone shifts, the story on Wall Street shifts, and then the move is changing to the upside, and anybody who has been stagnant and been shorting gets caught off guard, and then the cycle changes and hopefully we start to see higher. So SoFi, hopefully, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just listening to what has happened and being ready and potentially anticipating this move. So I know there was the Supreme Court ruling that came out today, which was a positive catalyst, but more so the way that I look at it is who's involved, what's the price telling me, and where can this go? So SoFi as well, if I take a quick look here, let's see what the short float is on a stock like SoFi, and it's 20%. So this is a prime candidate for this thing to move higher. We'll see what happens from here, but just a documentation and a confirmation as to what I thought would happen in the previous video basically played out exactly like it should. So I'll post that video's link in the comments below. And then I also now have an algo channel for my swing trading bots, which I'll share the AFRM trade log, which is very similar to what I do with these videos on there as well. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like. And if you want to see more, subscribe.